The moment I went into labor, alone in a cold London hospital, I never imagined the doctor walking in would be the man who abandoned me, my ex-husband, the father of the child fighting for life inside me. The sterile, icy corridor of St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London felt as if it were shrinking around me as the hospital bed rolled forward. My fingers clawed the metal rails so tightly I thought my bones might crack. Another contraction tore through me like a blade, sharp and merciless, cutting through every piece of strength I thought I had left. Sweat dripped down my forehead, mixing with tears I'd been fighting for months. 28 years old, and I never imagined I'd be here, alone, abandoned, about to give birth to a child whose father vanished as easily as smoke slipping through fingertips. Harry's voice, his cold, dismissive voice, slammed through my mind again. "I'm not ready for this, Elise. A child will destroy everything I've worked for." He said those words in our beautiful flat in Kensington, just across Hyde Park. Marble floors, tall windows, the kind of place people only see in magazines. Yet none of that luxury softened the cruelty in his tone. "You don't understand the pressure on me, my plans, my career." I held the pregnancy test with trembling hands. 2 pink lines. 2 lines that should have meant joy, hope, a future. Instead, Harry looked at that small plastic stick like it was a live bomb. "Can you take care of it?" He didn't even look at me. "Take care of it?" I whispered, heart fracturing. "That's our child." He shook his head. "That was a mistake, Elise. An accident, not a child." Those words sliced deeper than any scalpel he had ever held. I packed my suitcase that same night. I didn't take much, just clothes, my documents, and the shattered pieces of who I used to be. I left the life we built in Kensington behind and returned to Bath, to my Aunt Nina's small house that smelled like cinnamon and morning glory flowers. 6 months later, I returned to London only because I had no choice. Bath didn't have a hospital equipped for high-risk births. And now, here I was, alone, terrified, broken. "Breathe, sweetheart, we're almost there," the nurse said gently. I tried to breathe. I tried to remember anything besides the pain, physical and emotional. But then the double doors to the labor ward opened, and everything inside me froze. Because the man standing next to the operating table, wearing a white coat with his name embroidered in navy blue, was Harry Morrison, my ex-husband, the father of the child fighting to be born, the man who left me 6 months pregnant without a backward glance. My lungs stopped working. "No." The word escaped me like a dying breath. "No, please, no." Harry's mask hung around his neck, revealing the face I once knew better than my own. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that once held warmth, but now looked like a nightmare come alive. "Elise," he whispered, voice cracking. "Get him out," I screamed at the nurses. "Please, get him away from me. I can't. Another contraction slammed into me, folding me in half on the bed. Tears poured freely now, blurring everything. "Nurse Carter," Harry said, slipping into his clinical tone. "I need you to calm down. I'm the OB on duty." "Don't touch me," I roared. "You don't have the right to touch me." The older nurse looked between us, her gray hair trembling along with her hands. "Doctor? Perhaps we should call Dr. Stevenson." "Dr. Stevenson is in surgery," Harry said firmly, "and she's in advanced labor. There's no time for a replacement." "Please," I begged, my voice breaking. "Please don't do this to me." For a second, just one, his professional mask slipped. Pain flickered in his eyes. Elise. His voice dropped to a whisper only I could hear. I know you hate me, and you're right to, but there is a life at stake now. A life? The word tasted like rust on my tongue. You mean our child? His jaw tightened. I saw the war inside him, the guilt, the fear, and the truth he never admitted. Before I could speak again, the nurse gasped at the monitor. Dr. Morrison? Baby's heart rate, 180 beats per minute. Harry moved instantly. Professional. Precise. The doctor he was born to be. Elise, I need to examine you. Do whatever you need to do. I just save my child. Harry's hands that once held me gently, were now cold, clinical, detached. 7 centimeters, he said. We still have hours to go. Hours. And he was the only doctor available. God had a cruel sense of humor. Dr. Morrison. They came from the doorway, deep, authoritative. Dr. Harrison, clinical director of obstetrics, stepped inside with the posture of a man who ran the entire hospital with an iron spine. Step outside, now. Harry didn't move. I'm in the middle of a complicated delivery, sir. This is non-negotiable. I've just been informed that you have a personal history with this patient. That is a direct breach of ethical protocol. That was in the past, Harry replied quietly. That is no longer relevant. Elise Carter is your ex-wife. That makes it very relevant. You cannot oversee this delivery. Like hell he can't, I shouted, startling everyone. Pain or not, I pushed myself upright. You are not moving me like I'm a piece of furniture. Your protocol doesn't feel contractions. Your protocol doesn't bleed. Your protocol doesn't have a child fighting to be born. The nurse, Linda, looked at me with admiration and pity. Elise, sweetheart. No, I'm done letting people make decisions about my life without me. The nurse returned her attention to the monitor and paled. Doctor, 200 beats per minute. Baby's in distress. Harry didn't hesitate. Elise, we need to do an emergency C-section. Now. I wanted a natural birth. I know, he said softly. And I'm sorry, but right now we need to do what's best for your baby. Dr. Morrison, Harrison warned, if you perform this surgery, then fire me, suspend me, take my license, but I'm not leaving this room until I know my child survives. Your child? Harrison echoed. Harry looked directly into my eyes. Our child, he repeated. And for the first time in 6 months, I saw the truth in him. The surgical lights were blinding as they positioned me for the C-section. My whole body trembled, not from the anesthesia, not from fear of the scalpel, but from him. Harry stood by my side, gloved hands steady, eyes locked on the monitor. Stay with me, Elise, he said softly. Just breathe. I promise, I won't let anything happen. I wanted to hate him. I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to tell him he had no right to speak to me like that. But then, the world stopped. A cry, sharp, loud, angry, filled the room. My baby. My son. Harry lifted the newborn with trembling hands, his voice breaking. A boy. Elise. He's perfect. They placed him on my chest. Warm, tiny, miraculous. Hello, Alfie. I've been waiting for you. When Harry heard the name, something cracked inside him. You chose it alone, he said softly. I chose everything alone, I replied. He lowered his head, and when he lifted it again, tears glistened in his eyes. Elise,
"There's something I need to tell you, something I've never told anyone." And then he broke open, telling me the truth about the accident that killed his mother and newborn sister, the trauma that shaped him, the fear that ruled him, the guilt that destroyed him. And for the first time, I understood. Not forgave him, not yet, but understood.
6 months after the birth, something changed. Harry came to the hospital not as my ex-husband, but as a man determined to make things right. He brought me a brown leather folder. Inside, a job offer. A position coordinating a new support program for vulnerable pregnant women at St. Bartholomew's. A program he designed, but never launched because he couldn't find the right person. "Elise," he said, "you are the right person. You understand these women. You survived what they're going through." And for once, I believed him. The salary was more than I could ever earn in Bath. There was childcare, there was housing, there was a future. But he added, "There will be no personal obligation, only professionalism. You don't report to me. You choose how close or how far you want me." He kept his word. For 6 months, we built the program together, professionally, respectfully, carefully. Alfie grew strong, curious, determined, everything we weren't prepared for, but everything we needed. And slowly, brick by brick, the wall between Harry and me shifted. Not crumbling, not collapsing, but changing. The HOPE program had been nominated for international recognition. Delegates from across Europe came to London to study our model. I stood at the front of the conference room, presenting data, speaking with confidence I thought I'd lost forever. When the applause ended, Harry approached me. "Congratulations," he said quietly. "What you built is extraordinary." "What we built," I corrected, then realized what I said. He smiled, a real smile, the kind I hadn't seen in years. We stood at the window overlooking the childcare center, watching Alfie toddle around. "He's amazing," Harry whispered. "You've done a brilliant job raising him." "We both have," I said, "in different ways." For the first time in nearly 2 years, I looked at Harry Morrison not as the man who destroyed me, but as the man who fought to rebuild something with me. Not a marriage, not a romance, but a family. A new one. A better one. A possible one. "Harry," I said softly, "I think it's time we talk about what comes next." He turned to me. Hope flickered in his eyes. Real, fragile, human. "Elise, what do you mean?" "I mean," I exhaled, "maybe it's time we stop dancing around each other and figure out how to be the family Alfie deserves. Not the family we were, but the family we can become." Outside the window, our son laughed, a bright, pure sound that made the cold London day feel warm for the first time in years. The story that began with abandonment and fear had become something else. Something unexpected, something healing, something worth rebuilding, a second chance. Not at love, not yet, but at hope, at family, and at the life Alfie brought into the world with his first beautiful cry.